Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to do a makeup for glasses kind of look, and this is what I came up with. I'm just going to be taking my Lorac eyeshadow primer and putting that on my lids. Excuse the little black marks on my face. They're from some mascara that I took off earlier, and I guess there's just some left over there. But I'm taking the Lorac Pro palette and taking the shade Cream, and I'm using that to just set my eyelids. I'm going for a really plain look today just because whenever I wear my glasses, I don't really go for such an extreme kind of makeup look. Now I'm just taking some tape and putting it on the corners because I am going to do some eyeliner just because I like how eyeliner looks with glasses, because when you look on the side of the face, you can see that winged outliner, which I love. I'm now taking the shade Taupe, and I'm putting that in my outer crease and just blending it away. I'm actually really proud of myself. This term that I've been at school, I've been really good with wearing my glasses, so yes, the struggle was real, guys. Next, I'm just using the white shade to brighten up the inner corner and more towards the middle, just so that there's no, those vessels that showed through your eyelids. The primer didn't conceal them, so I'm just using this white to kind of conceal them. And now I'm just going back with the taupe color and I'm blending out the edges. For eyeliner today, I actually decided not to use an actual eyeliner. Instead, I'm taking my Smashbox primer water and I'm spraying my Real Techniques accent brush, and I'm dipping that into the black shade in the Lorac Pro palette, and I'm going to be using that as a eyeliner. And I've actually really been liking to do this lately just because it gives it more of a soft look. But people actually asked me what eyeliner I used that day, which was really weird. And I was like, I'm using an eyeshadow. Like, no way, it's so black. And yeah, anyways. I'm taking a little tea break featuring my awesome mug from Target. I love it. Now I'm just priming my face with my Smashbox primer water. And I love how this feels. And little dance break, yes. Now I'm just taking my L'Oreal foundation, and I've been using this one a lot lately. I don't know, I've been really liking the finish of it and just how it wears on my skin throughout the day. But yeah, I'm just darting that all over my face before I go in with my beauty blender to blend it all out. So I've used other brushes in the past to put on my foundation, like stippling brushes or just really dense brushes, and they work great, but I don't know, I always end up going back to my beauty blender just because it gives you such a flawless finish. And not only that, but for me, I like that the beauty blender takes away some of the product, so it gives it more of a satin finish instead of such a full coverage, just because when I'm wearing makeup on a day-to-day basis, I don't want to be so full coverage. Next, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, and this is in the shade Neutralizer. And as you can see, it's not much lighter than my skin tone. The reason I like to use this for my under eyes especially is because it's more of a yellow toned, so that really, really helps in color correcting, especially if you have dark circles under your eyes. Now I'm just going back with my trusty beauty blender, and I'm going to be blending that all out. So recently I've learned a really cool trick with setting powders. I'm taking my NYX banana powder and I'm using the back of my accent brush, and I'm just going to be scraping at the powder. And I'm going to just scrape as much as I want, and it should end up looking like that. And what you can do with that is it creates a loose powder that you can use to kind of bake your under eyes. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on just a regular loose powder like the Laura Mercier, you can do this little technique, and it actually worked really, really well. And the brush that I'm using for my under eyes, this is my go-to under eye brush, is from Morphe, and it is the M438 brush. And it honestly just fits perfectly under the eye, and it's my favorite. I'm also making sure to bake some of the areas that I tend to get oily in, so the sides of my nose and just my nose basically. And I'm also using that powder to set underneath my contour that I'm going to put, and it really helps in brightening up that area. Next, I'm going to be taking Sexpresso and Cashmere Bunny, and I'm actually going to be using these shades to do my eyebrows. If you don't want to spend money on just a eyebrow powder, you can use eyeshadows in its place and it works exactly the same. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm now taking my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel just to set all those hairs in place so that you don't get some wacky hair going in a different direction, because that's really cute. And as usual, I'm just curling my eyelashes to make them look a little bit more full when I put my mascara on. I'm going to be taking my Lash Sensational mascara from Maybelline, and I'm coating my lashes. I don't really have a specific way that I put my mascara on. I mean, I put the wand to my eyes and then I kind of just blink as I pull the wand up. And now I'm just going to be doing my bottom lashes, and usually I always have an eyeshadow on my bottom lash line just to have it smoked out a little bit, but I actually really like not having anything there. It made my eyes look a lot more brighter and ready for the day. Now I'm just using my powder brush from Real Techniques, and I'm wiping away all that excess powder that is still baking on my face, and I'm also taking some of my Rimmel Transparent Stay Matte powder and adding that to the areas that I didn't put the banana powder. And then I just want to show you guys what the look looks like more close up. You can see that the eyes are really neutral and just really simple and plain. And the mascara is really wispy, and I really tried to separate my lashes. Just because when I put my glasses on, I want my eyelashes not to be so clumpy, but more spidery. And now I'm actually taking this shade from the Gwen Stefani Urban Decay collaboration, and it's in the eyeshadow palette, but it works perfectly as a contour color, and it is in the shade Anaheim. I'm probably going to use this color more for a contour than for my eyes, and I'm probably going to hit pan on it really fast because just look at it. I love it. It's so perfect. It's a perfect contour color for me. Next, I'm going to be taking this bronzer from Milani, and this is in the shade 04 Glow. And I'm using that on my BH Cosmetic brush, and I'm just putting that on my cheeks. This bronzer is really nice if you don't really want to put a blush or a contour and you just want to have that little wash of color on your cheeks. I love using this bronzer, especially in the summertime, since it has little specks of gold in it. It just really gives you such a nice finish. I'm making sure to not only put the bronzer on my cheeks, but also to the forehead to kind of even out the color, just to make sure that my cheeks aren't just boom, pop of color. Next, I'm going in with my Jordana blush, and this is in the shade 18 Touch of Pink. And guys, I love this blush. It is such a nice subtle wash of color on your cheeks, and I hadn't used it in a long time just because I was going through my whole Milani blush cheek phase, because Milani blushes are amazing, but this one was really nice, I gotta admit. I love it. And today I'm not going in with a highlight. What? Esther's not going in with a highlight? That's unheard of. But I am going in with this light bronze pearl powder from Physicians Formula, and I'm using it just because it is so nice. I mean, if you don't want a highlight but you want your cheeks to have that kind of dewy look to them, throw some of this on and you're good to go, to be honest. Now I'm taking the shade Silk Teddy from my Natural Eyes Too Faced palette, and I'm using that for my inner corners, just to brighten it up a little bit. And I wanted to put a little bit more in the crease, so I'm taking this shade from Colourpop, and it is the shade Desert, and I'm adding that to my crease. And I'm glad that I added this color because that's when I noticed some mascara on my eyelid. So I went back and I, took a little Q-tip and took off that mascara that was there. But next I used the lip liner from NYX, and it is in the shade Auburn. And I used that to line my lips, and then I took the Colourpop matte lipstick in the shade Lady, and that's what I'm using on my lips. I don't know, I was feeling pretty bold that day, and I was like, you know what? My black glasses, red lips, that's just a classic, so I had to do it. And now I'm just taking my Urban Decay setting spray and setting my face. And that completes the look. Here's the look if you don't want to wear glasses, you can just wear it like this. But in my case, I'm just throwing on my glasses, and there it is. So I actually went back and I changed my lip color, and this is in the Colourpop liquid lipstick line, and it is in the shade Tulle. It looks exactly the same, but here's a little sample. I took a sip of my tea and nothing came off. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and subscribe. That would mean so much. Bye, guys. On a side note, my brother said that if this video gets 50 likes, he will do Brother Does My Makeup challenge. So like this video.